TP in the place to be, man. Y'all go hit the like button, man. Go subscribe if you haven't already. We finna go ahead and get into it. So we got Gunna. Pretty much got free yesterday. Everybody saying he snitched. So we finna go ahead and see what, what's being reported. Because at first they were saying he's getting no custody, no bond. And now they gave him bond, granted him bond. So people saying he snitched because, all of a sudden they ran him bond. Here we go. Atlanta rapper Gunna walked out of the Fulton County Jail on Wednesday afternoon after pleading guilty to a charge in the RICO Act case filed against him and dozens of other alleged associates. Gunna, whose alleged name is Sergio Kitchens, and Young Thug, whose name is Jeffrey Williams, are two of the defendants indicted for the charges in violation of the RICO Act. The indictment claims that part of the gang known as claims that they are part of a gang known as YSL or Young Slime Life. Prosecutors allege those named in the indictment have engaged in violent crimes, criminal activity in the city for years. Attorneys for Sergio Kitchens said in exchange for a guilty plea, they will not have any time in jail, time in prison. The plea deal sentenced him to 5 years with 1 year to serve in prison. The time was commuted to time served and the balance was suspended. He will need to complete 500 hours of community service, with 350 of those hours speaking to young men and women in the community about the dangers of gangs and violence. The entire sentence will be terminated after he completes his community service. Fulton County Superior Court Chief Judge Earl Glanville also ruled he is not to have any contact with any of his co-defendants. They said if any of his parties in this case, he must testify truthfully. Dang. So pretty much they saying he must tell the truth. He must tell us what we want to know. He must at least give a proffer. But can also reserve the right to invoke his Fifth Amendment right. So of course he can invoke the Fifth Amendment if they start asking too many questions while he's testifying. And I feel like he might have to testify, low key. In a statement, Gunna did not admit guilt and claimed he was pleading guilty in his best interest. When I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it a gang, more like a group of people with Metro Atlanta who had common interests and artistic aspirations. My focus of YSL was entertainment. Rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the black community. While I agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intentions of being involved in the trial process in any way. I have chosen to end my RICO case with an Alford plea and end my personal ordeal by publicly acknowledging my association with YSL. An Alford plea in my case is an entry of a guilty plea to one charge against me, which is in my best interest, while at the same time maintaining my innocence towards the same charge. I love and cherish my association with YSL Music and always will. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to the community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only lead to destruction. It says around 5 p.m., Kitchens walked out to the Fulton County Jail in an SUV awaiting him outside. Prosecutors claim Williams is a co-founder of the alleged street gang YSL. The indictment also gives the details, accounts of the various violent crimes alleging YSL. Man, they got documents on social media, rap lyrics, pretty much says the RICO trial of all the defendants was scheduled to start at the first of the year, next year. So what it says, what is an Alford plea? An Alford plea, also sometimes known as a Kennedy plea, Alford guilty plea, Alford doctrine, or best interest plea, is the type of guilty plea in criminal court that gives weight to evidence. It allows a defendant to continue to assert their innocence and not admit to a guilty crime to a criminal crime, while conceding the evidence against him. Man, this plea allows the defendant to skip a trial and also accept the consequences associated with the guilty plea. This also is unlike a nolo contendere plea in that it can be used against a defendant in civil actions in future court proceedings. Oh, okay. So they're pretty much just saying it can't be used against them later on. Okay. So I guess Gunna did that because he didn't want to go to court. He didn't want to be in trial. He didn't want this to be a fiasco. And some folks going to take it like he snitched. Whack 100 going around saying he snitched. It's other people, in the media pretty much saying he snitched. And I don't necessarily know if he did. I don't think he did. I mean, by everything they're saying, it's not necessarily saying he snitched. He probably admitted to something that they said he did, like a smaller crime, not the RICO itself. And what that did was granted him immunity against the whole situation. It's not necessarily bad in his situation, but everybody else gonna look at him like, yo, you ain't want to sit it out, hold it out, do all this with us. But he found his way out, and if he didn't have to tell on nobody, which one of the statements he did make, he said that Young Thug wasn't in the car. I mean, Young Thug, when he and Young Thug was in the car when they got arrested, that he didn't have, it wasn't his gun. So that pretty much puts the blame on Young Thug and says that it was his gun since it was just them two in the situation. So some folks look at that like he snitching. Some folks might say, I don't know, he not snitching. He just giving some information so he can get out and get clean of the situation real quick. Y'all definitely let me know how y'all feel about the situation, man. Do y'all feel like Gunna snitched, or do y'all feel like Gunna just, gave up some information to just kind of just get out the situation and just kind of clear his name up so he can get back to the music? Y'all let me know. Because, my take on it is, it kind of is snitching. Because it was just you and him there, and you saying, oh, it wasn't mine. Because, see, most folks in the streets gonna say, don't say nothing. So, they don't know what to do. So they might have to drop it. But since Gunna went ahead and said that, then it might be put on Young Thug. Now, Young Thug's attorney might be able to go ahead and duck this, but we'll have to see that later on in trial. Young Thug is at trial today, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a reaction to that, man. So y'all go ahead and tap in. I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one, man. Y'all stay out the way. Y'all drop y'all's comments, turn the notification bell on, hit the like, subscribe. We're on the road to 1K subs. And I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one, man. Y'all take care.